What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to All Things Football, and welcome to what is going to be the final Premier League review of what an amazing season it has been. So, I don't want to have to be the one to break the bad news, but if you don't know already, Liverpool have qualified for the Champions League along with Chelsea as Leicester crash out of the top four on the final day of the season for the second season in a row. I mean, I don't think I saw this coming. I didn't think it was possible for them to do it 2 years in a row, but again, they've bottled it. Brendan Rodgers, even though they did win the FA Cup, they will not be playing Champions League football next season. In the game at Manchester City, Aguero signed off with a brace in what probably will be his final game. One of the strikers that has been, I'd say, top 5 in the world for the past 10 years, might be on his way to Barcelona. Wherever team he ends up at is going to get a world-class striker. Sheffield United down, but not without a fight. David McGoldrick sealed a 1-0 win against Burnley. Manchester United's youth sides beat Wolves 2-1. Anthony Elanga scoring his first Premier League goal. And I do want to talk about that quickly. I didn't see any Liverpool fans crying about the team selection today. That's all I'll say. Effectively the same team that played against Leicester before the match against Liverpool, and not one tear on my timeline on Twitter. I guess the double standards are there. Oh, that's a long intro.
Yeah, but yeah, let's get into it. I think obviously the top four battle. Actually, before we get into the top 4 battle, on our Instagram at @ATFootball_ released a trailer of a new football challenge we have called the ATF challenge. A for accuracy, T for touch, and F for finish. So,
what about your touch?
No, go see the trailer and you'll see what Anton's talking about. But yeah, the video for that will be out soon. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel and that video will be out very soon. But yeah, let's get into it. The top 4 race, which was like the key, because no one knew who was going to qualify for top 4. So where to start? I think we should start with Leicester v Spurs.
Yeah.
Did Leicester, was it 2? Did they go 2-1 up, or was it 2-0?
So they went ahead, conceded an equaliser. Vardy scored a second penalty, and then Tottenham then scored 3. Yeah. So twice they found themselves in the Champions League spot, which they would have finished in the Champions League spot if they avoided defeat, I think, because obviously Aston Villa beat Chelsea, but Tottenham, Harry Kane, and Gareth Bale, world-class players, showing their quality once again. Gareth Bale is someone who, like Aguero, has been at the top of his game for at least 7 or 8 years. Although he's, on the decline, if you want to say that, he still has the raw talent and ability that a footballer at the top of football should have. He just waltzed through Leicester's defense, almost as if they'd given up hope of Champions League qualification and sealed the deal for them. I feel like Leicester in particular, they always get so close to the line, but they just don't have the mentality, I think. I think that might be their biggest criticism, the mentality of the players. Maybe they get too far ahead of themselves and then they let them go. Yeah, the game management has always been poor from them. But again, 2 years in a row, as I said, they crashed out of the top 4 on the final day of the season. It must really, really hurt knowing they come so close to where they think they should be.
2 seasons in a row as well. It's like they haven't learned from their mistakes. Last year against us, they came out. This year, it was in their hands, literally. All they had to do was at least draw. I think they could have drawn, but obviously, I think Chelsea lost
2-1.
So I don't know if a draw would have helped, but all they had to do is just win the game. Or
they were ahead twice.
Yeah, they were ahead. So that's the thing. And I mean, I don't know whether Leicester fans are happy that they got the FA Cup, but they didn't get Champions League, even though they were in a position where they could have got it throughout, like for the majority of the season. So I think they're the biggest positives of the season.
For me, I'm not a Leicester City fan, but I'm going to try and put myself in their shoes as much as I can. Yes, you won a trophy on the weekend and they all would have been happy then, but their focus would have shifted because that's where they believe they should be. They think they should be playing Champions League football, even though they've only qualified for it once. That's the mentality of the fans. Yeah, we should be at the top of European football because we are Leicester City. We have a good manager. We have a good squad. But then again, you deserve to finish where you finish after 38 games. And if that means finishing 5th or 6th 2 seasons in a row, that's where you should be. That's your level.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously you have to give credit to Tottenham because they went behind twice, came back twice, and eventually won the game. Gareth Bale, I think he got a brace. Harry Kane and He was a final scorer.
Kasper Schmeichel on goal.
Yeah, own goal. So yeah, Bale looked like he was up for the game. Obviously, he got 2 goals, and Harry Kane, great finish, Golden Boot winner, just beat Salah, and last game for Spurs potentially.
That's a big news. That's big topic. But I mean, there's a lot of speculation around Harry Kane. But I think even the dumbest of football fans will realize there's probably only 2 destinations for him, and they both are in Manchester. I can't see him leaving the Premier League. And
Yeah,
PSG,
he said it himself. He said it himself. He's not going to leave the Prem.
Yeah, Manchester City can afford him plus wages, and we can afford him plus wages. Chelsea, I'm not too clued up on their rivalry with Tottenham, but apparently it's way bigger than.
Yeah, they're not going to sell. Levi's not going to sell to Chelsea.
Yeah, and so it really
but Spurs have a good relationship with United. Berbatov.
It's good.
Well,
you have a decent relationship.
Yeah, it's decent. So you never know, but I can see him going to City.
Oh, if he goes to City, we'd write it off because he is. It's perfect timing. The stars are aligning. Aguero's on the way out, and Kane's making himself available. It would make perfect sense for him to go to Manchester City. And to be perfectly honest, I can only see us signing him to stop Manchester City signing him. It's what we did with Sanchez, and I believe we can do it again.
Yeah, we could, and then that means Haaland will eventually go to City the following season, if it's not this season.
Yeah,
so that's one of the two. We either get Kane this season or we get Haaland the following season.
I feel like whatever happens with Kane and Haaland this year, also with Aguero, is going to have a knock-on effect around Europe. Because remember last season, for the past 18 months, Lautaro Martinez, massively linked with Barcelona, but Aguero appears to be going there now. If Aguero goes to Barcelona, if we get Kane or Kane goes to City, then that leaves the door open for our, kind of small link to Martinez to, maybe become prominent again, along with the link with Erling Haaland. There's a lot of world class, I say top class, and a couple world class strikers being linked away from their clubs this summer, and with teams like United and City, Barcelona, Madrid, maybe even PSG looking at looking for new players. It's going to be a hectic 18 months, and I don't really want to say I'm looking forward to it, because whenever we're involved with a big player, it's going to drag on and drag on and drag on for the whole summer. And also, if we were to sign Kane, I'd say goodbye to any other one else. So.
Yeah, but who would you prefer? Would you prefer getting Kane this summer or not getting Kane and we get Haaland? Potentially, there's no guarantee we get Haaland the following summer.
If there's no guarantee, then I'd prefer Kane this summer, because yes, we have Cavani, but he's not going to play 38 games. Well, when you play for Manchester United and you start for Manchester United and you want to be the main player, you have to be able to play at least 45 to 50 games a year. Cavani won't be able to do that. He's injury prone, and he's coming to the slow end of his time as a footballer. So you're looking at 20 to 25 games of like very high performance. I want Kane, and yes, I know I talk about games. He has an ankle injury every year, but it's Harry Kane.
Yeah,
he's the second best striker in the world. He'd easily get you around 35 goals a year. And in this side, with Rashford on one side, and if we were to spend money correctly, Sancho on the other side.
If we get those players, oh my days. But I think Kane could actually happen, because I don't see City don't pay more than like 60 million for a player.
I think their record
is United would, but we would get rid of Anthony Martial.
Honestly, bro, in a heartbeat, if Spurs want Martial for plus cash for Kane, he can go.
Yeah,
because yes, Martial's not young anymore. He's 25. Kane's only 2 years older than him.
Yeah,
and he's worlds ahead of him. And the way Kane plays, you're looking at 5 or 6 years at the highest level. I think there are so many complications with a deal that could possibly be done with Kane or a top-class striker. Greenwood is one of them. Do you want to stunt his growth and effectively block him out of a striker spot for the next 5 or 6 years to get Harry Kane in? I don't know if it means that.
I think it means we adjust Greenwood's position to right wing.
He's a decent right winger, but he's not a right winger. And I think when you come, his best position
again,
is
Kane,
a striker.
then again, Kane has shown that he can drop deep.
You don't play Kane behind the striker. You don't do it. Don't even
No,
suggest that.
no. What?
Don't even suggest
I'm
that.
pretty sure Kane's positioning was deeper than Son's.
No, but
this
his
season.
yeah, that's because he's able to he's able to be the link, but his actual position as a striker, yeah, he's able to drop deep and collect the ball. I'm trying to think of another. Benzema, perfect example. Benzema's the striker, but he's able to drop deep and collect the ball. There are certain strikers now, players like Erling Haaland, yeah, he's a goal machine, goals and goals, goals. Lewandowski, goal machine. They're just a pure striker. Kane's able to adapt his game, and he has been adapting his game. And I say Mourinho played a massive part in it. Yes, he's the main striker, and that's his main role, but he's able to collect the ball and just actually play. He's a very, very good footballer. He's very good with his feet, and his technical ability is way better than people probably thought it ever would be. And if you're ever suggesting you play him like a Wayne Rooney type player on the pitch, where he might play on the left, he might play on the right, might play behind the striker, that Kane is not that. Kane is a pure striker.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but if you're mentioning Greenwood, if he stunts his growth, I'll say when you have someone like Kane, he's proven in the Prem, he will get you those goals, and he's available. You don't miss that chance to get a player like that. Yes, we can. Yes, Greenwood will potentially could do that. He is our best striker in the club. However, when someone like Kane is there, I think you just take it with two hands, because that opportunity doesn't come all the time, especially for a top-class striker like that. Imagine Lewandowski was available. Imagine how many clubs would want to get him. No one would miss out. No one.
Yeah, I know. It's my Manchester United sentimentality. I think that's the word. It's just taken over me at the moment. I want to see Greenwood be the guy, as well as Rashford. They can both break Wayne Rooney's record, and I think Greenwood can only do that if he's given the opportunity as soon as he's ready for it. Yes, Harry Kane will get you 30 goals a season, but I genuinely believe in about 2 or 3 years, Greenwood can better that because of his actual quality. Once he fills out naturally, not obviously pump the weights on him, but once he fills out naturally and gets used to the role and gets used to the Premier League battles that he will have against players like Tarkowski and Lewis Dunk, Ruben Diaz on a weekly basis, I believe he easily will be probably the best striker in the league if Harry Kane isn't here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much transfer talk we can talk about. We have to have a whole new episode for that.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the next game, which was Liverpool. They beat Palace 2-0. And obviously, all they had to do was win and they get top 4.
Yeah.
Because their goal difference was superior to Leicester. So even if Leicester won, they would have been ahead of them. And Liverpool came third.
Yeah.
They came third. They came behind us. After the season they've had, I don't know how they've done this. I remember in one of our episodes, you were saying how if they even touch fifth, or they'll be struggling, panicking, and someone's called us upon that, saying called us out. Now that Liverpool qualify for top 4, and
I'll take my words back.
Yeah, there's nothing we can say.
They're not mentality monsters. They just have very good players and they know how to win. They've won the Premier League. They've won the Champions League. They have a manager that's been there for many years. They have a world-class handful of players. And yes, I didn't want Liverpool to qualify for the Champions League because it would have been funny. And that's it, really. I don't like Liverpool. I'm a Manchester United fan. But I can't have any complaints. They're a world-class side and they've proven themselves almost this season. They're going to be back next season, and I'm fully aware of their presence. I'm fully aware of their quality, and I'm fully aware that if they play to their actual ability next season, they're probably going to finish ahead of us if we don't recruit and improve. I think they do deserve the Champions League, and yeah, it's Liverpool. They're one of the best teams in the world. I can't really say anything else.
Yeah, there's not much we can say. Obviously, Sadio Mane got a brace. Salah, unfortunately, he didn't get the golden boot. But I want to quickly talk about Salah. I think he's been completely underrated this season. Yes, Liverpool were doing poorly throughout the season. Somehow managed to finish third. But Salah has still been banging goals left, right, and centre. But he's just been going about his business just as usual. No one's been talking about it, but Salah is still a deadly. I can't even call him a striker. He's
a winger. He's just I
he's a
think he's
winger,
a winger.
but he's banging 20 plus goals a season again, second to Harry Kane. And yeah, I think Salah needs to get his plaudits because people haven't been talking about him as much.
Yeah, Salah's someone that splits opinion. Even Liverpool fans is straight down the middle with him. Either you hate him or you love him, and I can see both points of view. Yes, he's one of the best wingers in the world, and he's one of the best goal scorers in the world. But at the same time, he's one of the most wasteful players around. He's a really frustrating. Even for me, I don't want Liverpool to win. I don't want to see them winning. But when I watch Salah play, I'm thinking, why can't you just pass it to Mane, who's on the other side of the goal, and then it's a guaranteed goal instead of wasting an opportunity? Why can't you do this and that? He's very, very selfish, and you have to be selfish. Harry Kane's very selfish. Haaland, Lewandowski.
You have to be to get those numbers. You have to be.
Everyone is selfish, but I'm 100% sure if there were, I know I've seen stats. He's one of the most wasteful players, and that's why he's a very frustrating figure. But at the same time, you can't complain because he gets you wins, he gets you points. If Salah wasn't at Liverpool, they'd easily be 13th or 12th in the Premier League. He's their most important player behind Van Dijk. But at the same time, I can see why people are saying, "I'll drop him," because Jota's there. He's more of a team player, and he gets
goals. He gets some
goals, as many goals. He's not my player, so I don't mind. But I can really see both sides of the argument with a player like him, and it has been a quiet campaign for Salah because of the way Liverpool have played, because of the way they were playing throughout the season. Their home form was ridiculously poor, but their strong end to the season, especially today, Mane grabbed both goals. People won't be speaking about Salah. They'll be speaking about Mane, and it's just another reason why I guess it's gone quiet around the Egyptian.
But again, Liverpool, as much as we hate Liverpool, we have to praise them because the fact they've had Van Dijk out, Joe Gomez out, Matip, Henderson, all these are leaders on the pitch, and yet they're the third best team in England. They've managed to do it. Jurgen Klopp has managed to turn it around, and obviously they came third. There's nothing, we can't say much more about Liverpool, to be honest.
Yeah, as I said, Liverpool have lost a few important players this season, most notably Van Dijk and probably Henderson. But the rest of their team, I feel like maybe the other players were just lost a bit this season in the eyes of the fans. You have the best, right back in the world, Trent. You have the best winger. Well, not the best winger because Messi's alive, but you have Mo Salah, you have Sadio Mane, who himself didn't have a great season. You have one of the better attackers in Firmino. You have Thiago, Fabinho. You have world-class players scattered around your team. Just because I would say Joe Gomez rotates with Matip, surely, but Van Dijk, their first choice centre-back, just because one player and your captain is out for the season doesn't mean you should be finishing 8th or 9th. They didn't have a good season. They just managed to build themselves up and basically just say we're Liverpool. We can't be finishing outside the Champions League spots. They just dragged themselves up at the end of the season, finished tremendously well. I just think there was too much of an excuse, and they got over themselves. They stopped feeling sorry for themselves.
Yeah, that's the key. They actually stepped up and performed how they should be performing as champions. Yeah. Let's forget they were champions last season.
How many points did they get last season, by the way? Was it 99?
I can quickly check. They got...
I want to say...
Yeah, they got 99 points last season.
How many points did they get?
And then this season...
69. They're 30 points.
69, wow.
Technically speaking, they're easily top 3, or I think they might be top 2 behind Blackburn as the worst Premier League title defense ever. Finished third, but you're 30 points worse off than last season.
This season hasn't been too many points. Man City obviously won with 86. We came second with 74.
This season is like an 08-09 season. For about 5 or 6 years, the Premier League was won between 80 and 90 points. And I really felt like this was kind of similar. It felt I don't know. I just really enjoyed this season. I won't lie to you.
Yeah, it's been a weird
Overall,
season.
yeah,
But yeah, before we actually summarize the season, move on to the next game because there's so many games to get through. Aston Villa, Chelsea. Chelsea just about qualified despite the loss. Leicester City also lost, so Chelsea are fortunate with that.
yeah.
Yeah, Aston Villa. Jack Grealish is back. Hopefully, be on the plane to the Euros. And yeah, Chelsea got a red card. Aspilicueta, but Ben Chilwell got their goal. Bertrand Traore and El Ghazi got the goals for Villa. Let me check where Villa finished actually. Villa finished 11th from last season when they were battling relegation. Finished 11th. I think it's okay with the squad they had.
And the absence of Jack Grealish later on in the
Yeah,
campaign.
I think they obviously did start the season well, obviously beating Liverpool 7-2. But yeah, with the absence they had and the players they had, I think it's a decent season. I don't think they can complain too much.
It's an interesting one for Aston Villa because I think they might have been punching above their weight for a lot of the campaign. As I said, at the end of the season, you finish where you deserve to finish. Obviously, Jack Grealish was out and he's their best player and most important player. But someone who is underrated a lot is Bertrand Traore. He's an amazing player.
Ex-Chelsea player.
Yeah. He's very skillful and he can finish. He's scorer of spectacular goals. He got a tricky finish today. I still don't understand how it went in. The spin of the ball just dipped it like a lot right at the last second. But I don't think there's much surprise that Aston Villa won. They were playing at home. They're a good side at home. And again, they had one of their, I want to say their strongest team. Grealish was playing, El Ghazi was playing, Watkins, Bertrand Traore. I think a lot of people underestimated them today. I thought Chelsea would win because of what was at stake. They're lucky that they're in the Champions League. I'll say that because of the way the Tottenham-Leicester game went.
Yeah, they are.
But again, maybe I was thinking when I was watching just the end of the Chelsea-Aston Villa game because I was watching the United game, maybe the Champions League was on their mind because obviously they have the final next week. Maybe they're not running as hard because
definitely.
I don't want to risk an injury if I go into that challenge.
It's a week away. I understand if it was United, but Chelsea, they're playing on Saturday.
Yeah, even if you pick up a knock, stuff like that plays on your mind. You don't want to run yourself into the ground because there must have been communication coming off the bench saying, "Oh, Leicester are winning, Leicester are losing." When it goes 3-2 to Tottenham, when it goes 4-2 to Tottenham, you're not going to run as hard because you qualify for the Champions League, and two, even if you don't, you have another chance to qualify for the Champions League by beating Manchester City, which they have done already this season. So I feel like there might have been a few things on the mind for the Chelsea players, but at the same time, you should still be winning the game. You're finishing in the top 5 in the Premier League, in the top 4 actually, against the side mid-table. You are Chelsea. I'll say this for all of them. You're City, you're Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal because of Arsenal because of the history. You're Manchester United. You should be beating every team, really, if you really want to think about it like that. But it was a good display from Aston Villa.
And a team that is nearby to Aston Villa is Arsenal.
Yeah.
They beat Brighton 2-0 at home. Unfortunately, there's no Basuma laughing at Arsenal at the end of the game. But Arsenal finished 8th. Just unfortunately did not qualify for the UEFA Conference League. Unfortunately, no European football for Arsenal next season. I think it's a shame. I think the Arsenal fans will be disappointed they didn't qualify for any European competition this season. But I mean, it's a chance for them to regroup next season, focus on the Prem and the other domestic trophies, and then just move on from there.
Do you think it will be a blessing in disguise not having to travel to faraway places in Europe midweek?
Yeah, I think it was because we've seen the last few games of the season how players like Pepe are excelling. I think did he get a brace today? Yeah, he got a brace. Yeah, they're excelling. So he's going to be high in confidence if he can keep getting a run of games next season and have the confidence put in him by Arteta. He can perform next season. And I think it's the same with any player in that team.
You're praising Pepe along with a lot of people on Twitter, pundits, other fan channels. They're talking about Pepe and whether or not is his price, becoming more justifiable now because he's putting in performances which would warrant a 72 million price tag, would warrant you choosing him over someone like Wilfred Zaha, who was meant to be joining Arsenal. He didn't get off to the best start in North London, obviously. A lot of banter was thrown his way. He's getting a lot of abuse, criticism. But now when he gets on the ball in and around the box, you're thinking, yeah, something's about to happen because he's a genuine quality player. I think this season, he's probably been Arsenal's best attacker, especially in the late season. In the last few games, he's shown what he can really do, and he's grabbing games by the scruff of the neck. His end product when he first came in was more about flashy stuff and trying to embarrass someone else, but now it's more about I just need to find the back of the net, or I need to assist someone. I think there's a noticeable difference. And you're talking about no European football next season will help them just focus on the Premier League and the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. I genuinely think next season we'll see someone like Pepe just really, really flourish and probably hit double digits for goals. Probably not assists, but he's really going to hit the ground running next season from the first game of the campaign, I think.
Yeah, there is no excuses because he's had a season in the Prem, knows what it's about, and from here he can just push on. And it also all depends on what signings Arsenal make, because they definitely need to strengthen many areas. Obviously, they've lost Willian, David Luiz is gone, so those are two areas they need to obviously improve in. Centre mid, I'm not sure if they've signed Ceballos or he's on loan still.
Going back to Real Madrid.
Yeah, he's gone back. So yeah, centre mid as well. They need to fill that gap. Who knows what's going to happen with Lacazette? Is he still staying at the club? I don't know. They need to fill that position as well.
I think Arsenal fans should expect a massive overhaul this summer. They have a lot of players. Well, I believe they have a lot of players that need to leave and they need to, replace them or improve on the players they already have. It's going to be a busy summer for Arsenal, and hopefully, because I like to see the traditional sides at the top of the Premier League and fighting and battling for stuff. Hopefully next season or the season after, we'll see them actually back in the Champions League, European spots. Because as fun as it is seeing them struggle, it doesn't feel right not having them there.
Yeah, I mean Arsenal, they haven't been in the top four team for a while now, so it's kind of getting used to seeing them just scraping Europa Conference League, or they didn't even make it. But
yeah,
Tottenham, I'm pretty sure Tottenham made Conference League.
Yeah,
they're the team that made it. But relegated Fulham, lost 2-0 at home to Newcastle. Joe Willock, who's on loan from Arsenal, is it 7 goals? I mean, 7 goals in 7 games.
I think it's 8 now. Or
yeah, he's on that streak.
Yeah, he's been. Well, he's Arsenal's top goal scorer midfielder. He's Newcastle's top goal scorer midfielder. Probably should get Newcastle's player of the season, if I'm totally honest with you. I think he's better. I don't think he should sign for Newcastle. He really should be playing for Arsenal in that midfield. He has a bright future ahead of him. I wouldn't say on the same level as someone like Mount or Foden or anything like that, but he's a good young player. And I think he was a player that Newcastle needed because they were struggling. They were never a side which I thought would go down. But I believe they finished 12th, just above of Wolves, who dropped a place today. He's been a revelation for them. They'll definitely want to keep him on a long-term basis, but I just can't see it happening. They're going to struggle, by the way. Sir Maximin has been rumored to be leaving for about, I would say, since the last summer to try and get in funds.
What, move like out of the Prem?
Yeah, out just away from Newcastle, because he'll bring in a lot of money, probably about 30 to 40 million. And everyone knows about Mike Ashley. He's not going to, spend big on someone. So trying to get as much money as possible for one of your better players, I think might be their best option to try and revamp that whole squad. Because Steve Bruce has done wonders. He's a great manager. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were scrapping for relegation next year.
Yeah. And I saw someone saying about Joe Willock that he should be in the Euro squad because they were saying their justification was the Euros is a short tournament, so we need to get players based on their form. So if he's in good in form right now, those are the type of players we need. And then I was scrolling through other people saying, no, he should be in the World Cup for next year. I don't think he's at that level. I don't know what these people are talking about.
Nah, there's an argument, that they're making, which is a valid point. You're not going to bring an out of form. Well, you might bring an out of form player, but you wouldn't start them. There's so many different components that you have to take into consideration when selecting players. You got tournament experience, which I think is very important. That's why I think Pickford should start in goal. If you don't have that tournament experience, then quality, just genuine quality, someone like Phil Foden should be starting at the Euros for England. And then you have that middle ground, someone like Eric Dyer. I think Eric Dyer is going. If I'm honest with you, and I don't want him to go because I don't think he's good enough. But he has that experience. He's been to the Euros and the World Cup. So you're looking at someone who probably won't play, but someone who's probably very important in and around the camp. Imagine England lose and everyone's inexperienced. But you need someone like Dyer to just keep level heads. He won't play, or he shouldn't play, but he might be good for the younger players. And I would be annoyed if he went, or someone like that went, but I could totally understand his selection.
Yeah. I mentioned Calvin Phillips. Leeds won 3-1.
Yeah.
The last goal that West Brom scored was actually a mistake by Calvin Phillips. It was a poor touch. And let me check who scored. And Robson Carney scored. However, yeah, Phillips scored a free kick anyway. Rodrigo and Bamford penalty. And Leeds, did they finish in the top half of the table?
They finished 11th.
They finished 9th.
9th?
Yeah, level just so overall, the way they played was in their favor. Yes, they turned every game to a basketball game, but just like literally top of the table, top half of the table. So I think that's a great season for Leeds. 9th, their first season back.
Yeah,
I think it's amazing what Bielsa has done.
Yeah, it is amazing what he's done. And I think next season will be more important than this season to see where they've improved and what they've improved on. Because as you said, basketball scores in a lot of their games. They score a lot and they concede a lot. And if you want to succeed in the Premier League, and by succeed, I mean you want to maybe win a domestic trophy or qualify for European places, you can't let that happen. It can't be you can't have a yo-yo season that you win a game and you get battered the next one. It doesn't work like that. Yes, it's fun for the neutral to watch, but as a Leeds fan, it can't be good for your health. And they're a team has a few good players, but they have a brilliant manager. They would want to be qualified. They might have even wanted to qualify for the Conference League. That might have been a little stepping stone for them, but obviously they weren't able to reach that. Next season, they're going to have to finish above 9th. If they want to be satisfied, or if they want to, say to themselves, yeah, we're making progress, they have to be finishing 8th or 7th, push for a Europa League spot, because West Ham might not be able to keep up the levels next season. Everton, they finished 11th. That's why I thought Leeds finished 11th. Everton, I think will be pushing as well. So maybe they might take West Ham's spot. Tottenham will be coming stronger, hopefully. They might have a better manager. They might have used that Kane money if it comes into, buy a handful of good players. There's going to be a lot of different teams next season fighting for those Europa League spots, because I believe the Champions League spots are already sorted for next year.
Yeah, totally you just mentioned West Ham. They've qualified for the Europa League.
Yeah.
So European football will be in East London next season.
I think they've qualified for the Europa League proper, not the qualifying rounds. Just the Europa League.
Because they finish 6th. They're just about. They were so close to getting Champions League places. However, Europa League is still great for them. They've had an amazing season. David Moyes, great. I think West Ham fans are just over the moon. Like Declan Rice scored Pablo Fornals 2 goals and clean sheet at home last game of the season.
Yeah, they'll be very, very happy, but at the same time, they'll be thinking, what could have been? if they were just able to close out a few games, because like Newcastle, they did let a few big leads go. And I feel like a few of the West Ham fans, even me, not as a West Ham fan, but as a football fan, I wanted to see them in the Champions League. It's always nice to see a different team qualify. They'll be thinking to themselves, a few more wins. If we didn't let a few of those results slip, we could genuinely be playing Champions League football next season. They'll be happy because they're in the second tier European competition in the Europa League, like the actual group stages. But in the back of their mind, they'll be thinking, we can do this. We are a good team. This, after 38 games, it isn't an accident that we're here. Now we just have to improve and hopefully use transfer funds that we can accumulate to bolster the squad. Because later on in the show, I don't know if we've mentioned this already, but we'll be looking at the player of the season, team of the season. I'm going to put in a manager of the season in him. But they have a very, very good foundation to build upon now.
Yeah. And Sheffield, I think they have a good foundation. They won their last game of the season despite being relegated.
Yeah.
They went out fighting. So do you think they're going to bounce back straight away?
Yes. They have a good team. I know they had a terrible campaign this year, and one of the worst, Premier League campaigns the team has ever had. But they do have a team which I think might be a bit too good for the Championship. If they're able to keep players like McGoldrick, Sander Berge or Berg, Aaron Ramsdale, if they're able to keep him in goal, Osborne at left back, Rhian Brewster, Jebison is looking like a promising strike. If they can keep all of those players, Berg might be the hardest one, but I can see them bouncing straight back up, and I wouldn't be too mad at that.
Yeah, and quickly talking about the Championship, the playoff finals also next week. Swansea versus Brentford. One of those two teams will be joining. Is it Norwich and who's the other team who's come up? Oh, I don't even know. Norwich and
it's not Bournemouth.
It's not Bournemouth. Bournemouth lost in the playoff semi-final.
Who is it? It's a team that went straight. It's the team that went down. Don't say it because I want to get it. Tell me when you see it. It's Norwich won the league.
I've seen it. Yeah, Norwich won.
It's Watford.
Watford. Watford. So, it's going to be Brentford or Swansea to join Norwich and Watford in the Prem next season.
Hopefully Brentford get promoted. I want to see Ivan Toney in the Premier League, because I say that mainly because he rejected Jamaica to try and fight his way into the England squad, which I can't actually see happening. So.
It's not going to happen, I don't think. However, if Brentford do not even get into the Prem, then do you think Toney would be signed to a Prem team?
Definitely. He's got the record amount of goals ever for the Championship, 31, I think. I might be wrong. But even Arsenal will link to him at some point in January. He's got the quality, he's got the finishing ability and the striker's instinct that I would say mid-table Premier League sides are looking for. If he's able to get promoted with Brentford, then I believe he will stay and prove himself in the Premier League. Even Ollie Watkins was signed from Brentford, and he's scored quite a few goals for Aston Villa. If maybe a team like Newcastle were able to sign Ivan Toney, if Brentford weren't to get promoted, I think he'd do a great job. Yeah,
but I think it's in Swansea's favour just because they've experienced the Prem. They know how to do it.
Yeah.
However, Brentford have crumbled. They crumbled last season. So who knows? But that's till next week. Today, United's youth team.
Yes.
Youth team, emphasis on youth, beat Wolves 2-1 in Nuno Espirito Santos's last game for Wolverhampton. It was it was a sad send-off for him. Obviously, he had many injuries this season. Pedro Neto, Raul Jimenez, Traore was injured for aspects of the season. So
and he came off injured today as well.
Yeah, he came off injured today. So for what he had faced this whole season, I think Wolves have done okay for what they've had to deal with. And obviously he is the reason why Wolves are in the Prem and got Europa League a few seasons ago. And obviously he's decided to leave the club.
Yeah, it's a sad day for them because of what he's done for the club. He's established them in the Premier League. He's not leaving a side which, will be struggling and fighting for relegation next season. He's left a side which, if they, hire the right manager, could push for Europa League football again. They have a very, very good squad, and with the people that will be coming back next season, like Neto, Raul Jimenez, Traore, if you want to put him in that, I feel like they'll be fighting for Europa League football again. Another hurdle for Leeds to overcome, but. Today's match, I just want to say, well done, Anthony Elanga. I'm so happy.
Yeah,
Been watching him a lot in the youth sides.
yeah.
He's had a few injuries this season, but so glad he scored in his third chance, a goal which
His
I didn't
first
think
shot on target. He scored.
Yeah, it's a bullet header with a wonderful Dan James cross.
Great. No, we need to Dan James. What a cross. That is what we need from you week in, week out. That was a great assist. It was an amazing assist. Well. Yeah. Amazing assist. So Cavani would love that if you did that every game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
talk about Shoretire and Hannibal Mejbri as well.
Yeah. And the defender came on last
Will
few
Fish.
minutes. Yeah. So he made his debut as well. And Donny van der Beek.
What is
in the
let me
two
ask,
next
do you
to Matic.
think he had a good game? Because I think he had a really good game.
Yeah, he had a good game. He had a great game, commanding the midfield.
Yeah.
He was good.
I think, you know what I'm about to say. Put Pogba next to him in that midfield.
Exactly. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. Literally,
he showed that he can defend
next to Van der Beek and Bruno in the 10. Done.
He's so good on the ball. He's so good at receiving the ball and keeping it between 1 and 3 touches. The direct comparison that I can make between Fred McTominay and then Van der Beek is that when Van der Beek gets the ball, there's more confidence. He's more relaxed. When 2 players are closing him down, cool, Cruyff turn, or cool, let it run through your legs. And he can just do that, and he has that better footballing ability. Yet to see, obviously, because the game's just happened, but yet to see whether he's going to be able to displace one of McFred or both of them along with Pogba. But for the game on Wednesday, can't see him playing, by the way.
Yeah, he's not playing. None of the players on the pitch today are playing, apart from either Bailly or Twanzebe, who both had a great game.
They were battling for that starting spot.
Yeah, they were battling. Both of them are against each other because they know it's one of them. Yeah, literally, that's why they're both performing. They were both amazing today. Twanzebe, so many blocks. Bailly, great defending.
Who do you believe earned their place for Wednesday night?
The thing is, I'll say Twanzebe's done it. He's done it to Mbappe. He's done it to Neymar.
Yeah, and
he played in Maguire's position where Lindelof cannot play. But at the same time, why not play both? Why play Lindelof? Why play Lindelof when you can play those two? But it's a risk. That's the thing. It's a risk. I say Twanzebe because he can play left centre back.
When you said play both, these punched me in the teeth. I didn't even think of that. You say that, but Lindelof is a guaranteed starter. He will start. He wasn't even on the bench today. So Neville's, Fernandez. I can't remember if Pogba was on the bench, but
no, he wasn't.
The ones that didn't even travel, Fred didn't travel. He's starting. So I think it will be Bailly who starts because he's done it before. He played in the last Europa League final.
No, he didn't. He was injured.
Oh no, he was injured.
Red card. I can't remember. He didn't play.
Oh no, he was on the bench. I remember now. He was on crutches on the side, wasn't he?
But probably it would be Bailly based on experience.
Yeah, I think experience in a final comes a long way. We had the experience against Ajax in the final. They had a good team. They had players like De Ligt and Frankie de Jong in their team when we played them, but they just didn't have the experience or quality. I want Twanzebe to start because I genuinely do believe he's the better defender. I think he's more composed. I think he's faster. He's stronger. He's less rash, and he's, I think, less prone to flying into a tackle. Yes, it's nice seeing all action Eric Bailly, dominate someone in the air, but when you cross that line of domination to actual just reckless play, I think Bailly's just there a little bit more often than the rest of our centre backs, and I think Twanzebe's. I think he's the ideal partner for Lindelof on Wednesday.
Bailly is so rash. There was one thing in the match where he went for a header and then he just headed the other guy's head.
Yeah.
The other guy went down on the floor holding his head. Bailly just ran off.
You know, you know what he did afterwards? He brushed his waves down to me.
Yeah.
That's all he did. He's done that a few times. He's a madman.
Against Leicester, I think it was last season where he came off in the FA Cup against Chelsea. It was against Chelsea, I think, in the FA Cup where he came off injured. I think this guy is just reckless.
Yeah, he's
just reckless.
He's a hard man, but sometimes it's a little bit too far. I want Twanzebe to start, but I think Bailly will start with Lindelof at the back.
Quickly want to talk about Dan James. Yes, he got a great assist, but he had a chance in the game. And he decided, I'm looking at the video right now. He decided to lob the keeper. I don't know who he thought he was.
He thought he was me.
It just went wide.
He didn't get under the ball. He just kicked the side of it, and it was nice. You know what? Yeah, I know he messed up bad. It was a bad miss, but the run, and I think I haven't seen him make that run ever.
Yeah, it was a good run.
He's learning. Cavani's having an impact on everyone.
Yeah,
it was a brilliant run. He has the pace, obviously. So even if it isn't the best run, he could make a bad run or bad ball look like a great pass or run. It was just his finishing, and it's something that's never really been part of his game, like one of the more developed parts. But that finish was just terrible, and I think he'll want to forget about that quickly. Yeah,
and finally, we'll talk about the youth. Amad Diallo had a great game. Played the 490. Played in the false nine position. Trying to copy Man City.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah. But yeah, he had a great game. He had a great game. He was the one that played the ball to Dan James when he missed. Yeah, overall, he had a good game. He said Anthony Elanga, Shola Shortire, Medjbury, and Fish. All these youth players. Brandon Williams as well.
He had a decent game.
Yeah,
decent game.
Yeah, it was decent.
Just decent.
Yeah. So yeah, the future's bright with Man U.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say.
I want to talk about Hannibal Mejbri for a minute because I believe he would have made his debut before Shoretire, but he had an injury. He looks slick on the ball. I don't know about if our viewers that will watch this video or a lot of other Manchester United fans watch the youth sides, but he won the
23 player of the season.
Was it the Samat Busby Award?
Yeah,
I might have made that up.
Under 23 is the Samat Busby
Yeah,
Award.
He won that award, and then the Shoretire won the other one for the youth sides.
18th, yeah.
Mejbri, we bought him for a lot from Monaco when he was 16, I think, or maybe a year older. But he is an amazing player. Like I know in the game, a little nutmeg on volley. Like he's slick. He's really quick with it. He doesn't look like someone who's going to run rings around you. He looks like someone, maybe when I see him and I see him on the ball before he gets into full flight, I feel like he's just going to get it and pass it, but he's going to ruin you. He'll run a ring around you, stop, run a ring around you again, and then put it through your legs. He's such a tricky player. And I'm hoping that next season he goes out on loan, if I'm totally honest, because he's not going to get in ahead of anyone at this point. But I really want to see him get regular football, hopefully in the Bundesliga, because they do like to play youth a lot more. And then when he's ready, and when we're ready for him, he will come back and just slot right into our side because he's going to be an amazing player in the future. I'm 100% sure of that.
Yeah, and talking about loan players, Tahith Chong, he's been out on loan with Club
Werder Bremen.
Werder Bremen, yeah. And did they win the league? Then they won the league.
Werder Bremen.
Is it? No,
they got relegated.
No, he went on loan to a team in Belgium, I swear. And
oh my god, they record him from Werder Bremen.
Yeah.
And then okay, my bad. Yeah, Werder Bremen got relegated.
I thought Club Brugge, Club Brugge, and they won the league. So yeah, he's had a good loan spell. So hopefully, if he comes back this season, he plays on the wing. I think it's right. Does he play on the right?
Right and left. I can't see him getting into the side. I'm not won't lie. we've got Rashford, obviously, Diallo, obviously, Dan James, who he probably would be fighting with. But then we're looking at another winger. We're looking at Sancho. He's going to have to hold that loan, bro. He's going to have to go out alone again, or just leave. It's sad to see youth players leave that are actually good, but we want to win the league, and I hate to say it, but we're not going to win the league if he's,
You never know. You never know. You don't know how he is right now. So we have to wait and see. But a team that knows how to buy, how to develop youth is the champions, Manchester City. Is that how many titles is that in a few years? It's like three titles.
I think they've won 6 now.
6 in the last 10 years. 5 in 10 years. I think it's 5 in 10 years.
Yeah, they've dominated this decade. Absolutely dominated the decade.
Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
One of the greatest managers the Prem has ever seen.
One of the.
Yeah, one. That's the key word.
Top 4. He's top 4. Sir Alex Ferguson is
I think
one.
he's top 2.
Put Wenger in his shoes. I think he does the same thing or even better.
Wenger, how many titles did Wenger win?
I don't know, but I don't think it's about the titles now. I think it's about the facilities that Pep Guardiola has been given, the money he's been given. He can get literally anybody he wants. Wenger had to settle on a very, very, very tight budget. And so does Sir Alex Ferguson, which is why I will always put those two ahead of Mourinho and Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, De Bruyne opened the scoring. Great finish outside the box. Gabriel Jesus started the game, trying to prove to Pep that he should be the Aguero replacement. He got a goal. And Foden, guy should be starting for England potentially. And as he said, great season. Great season. Pep has trusted him. He's caused Sterling to be on the bench by how good he's been. And then Aguero, final game, he got a brace.
I just want to say now, I'm wearing blue because this is just what I had on. But it was nice.
I was gonna say, have you shifted across or something?
Nah, I'm just a bit. I was in my feels watching Aguero because he's not old. He's still one of the best strikers in the world, and he's leaving Manchester City. It was nice to see him score. I smiled when he scored his first. When he was on the pitch, when I was watching the highlights as well, all I could think about was he's genuinely been, and only recently I've realized because of the team that he plays for, one of the best strikers in the world. And I think we have to count ourselves lucky to have been able to watch him every single week in the Premier League since he moved in, I think, 2011. He's amazing. And whatever team gets him, I think it's Barcelona, they're going to have an amazing striker up front.
Yeah, I think he's probably one of the best South American strikers. Obviously, Suarez was a great striker, but obviously wasn't here for as long. Carlos Tevez, but Aguero is just different. The way he just ran past defenders. Remember the way he ran past Rio Ferdinand one time?
That was in my head.
Yeah. I can't forget about
top of the roof.
Yeah.
He embarrassed Manchester United a lot.
He was just too good, and he's still, as he's proven today, he's still got the quality. And I think I saw Pep Guardiola's interview at the end of the game, and he was emotional about Aguero leaving because he can still see the quality that Aguero possesses, and maybe Pep could have used him more, and he's realized that, but he's still got the quality. So as he said, any team that gets him will be very fortunate to have him.
Yeah, in the interview, Pep was talking about the players, or a couple of the players that helped. It annoys me because it's Manchester City. They're not obviously taking over Manchester, but they are a genuine force. The team that lost the 8-1 against Middlesbrough in 2008 to now, the progression they've made is the graph. If there was a graph, the growth is just so much better than everyone else's. David Silva, Yaya Toure, Vincent Kompany, even someone like Alexander Kolarov along with Aguero. They helped build Manchester City into this massive global team, this fortress, this one of the best teams to ever play in Europe, even. Because the way they play, the things they do, the money that they've correctly invested, not just thrown money about. They've correctly invested it into the players and the facilities. It's brilliant, and I think Phil Foden is just
an example.
I think he's an icing on top. The cherry on
he's
top.
a Manchester boy. He's from Manchester, from the academy. So they've shown, yes, all this money to buy foreign players, but they've invested money in the academy. They're producing young talent. Jadon Sancho was one of them. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. He went to go to Dortmund, but those are examples of the players they produce.
Yeah, because remember when we was younger, you had Michael Richards come through. You had Michael Johnson, who unfortunately, injury ended his career really early. But they were always producing all right players. Michael Richards went on to have a decent career, but now they've produced Jadon Sancho, one of the best players in the world. Brahim Diaz, extremely high potential, playing at AC Milan on loan right now. And Phil Foden, probably a future Ballon d'Or winner. The money that they've invested in the facilities and the staff and the youth training grounds, the youth stadiums, they have stadiums for their youth teams. Like the money they've invested is really, really paying off. And those three players that I've just named, I guess it's like perfect for them, isn't it? It's really showing that if you invest money correctly, it comes a long way. Probably won't be the next day, won't be the next week, but you have to invest your time, and the flowers will start to bloom. And what can I say? Back onto Aguero. I'm sad to see him leave, honestly.
Yeah, with Aguero, I think he's one of the best strikers the Prem has seen. Obviously, Alan Shearer, Wayne Rooney. Yeah. I can't even speak right now. But yeah, Aguero. I mean, every time I hear Aguero's name, obviously, I always hear the commentator shouting his name. But that's how great he's been over these 10 years. And it has been, the 10 years have gone by quite quickly, but he's just, I don't know, he's been amazing. And City fans, they have to build a statue. I think they are. He's a club legend.
He's left a legacy on the Premier League. He was the main character in the best ever final day ever, I'd say, in any league across the world. When I think about Aguero as well, I think about his insane ability to jump in the air, his leap, his magnificent,
scored ahead of today.
Yeah, and it's just he will forever be a part of Manchester City. I think he'll be the main guy, the poster boy. Vince Kompany was the captain, but Aguero's face will be associated with Manchester City. And one thing that I did like about his performance today was his hair. He went back to his black hair. He's had blonde hair for ages, but I feel like he's coming to the end of his time at City. He's gone back to basics. He's gone back to his black dye. It's almost like he's closing the book properly. And I think United should sign him. I'm joking.
No. You can't sign a guy now. But yeah, that rounds up the 2021 Premier League season. It's been quite a short season. Lots of games, thick and fast. And yeah, Man City champions, Fulham, Sheffield and West Brom relegated. And yeah, Man United second best team in England. And yeah, we're going to challenge next season. Harry Kane, Sancho are coming to United, and we're going to challenge City next season.
100%.
You can quote me. You can quote me on this, but yeah.
Before the episode ends, though, I need your player of the season. I need your manager of the season, and I need your team of the season. Team of the season doesn't have to be Man City. It might just be the team that you think have outdone themselves.
Are we doing team of the season, like actually making a team of the season, or
we can do that as well?
Okay, so my player of the season. Let me just look at the table so I can think about the players. Obviously, City, we already have Ruben Diaz. United, Bruno Fernandes. He's made the biggest impact on their club. That's how I'm thinking about it. I want to say Ruben Diaz has had the biggest impact on City and should be player of the season, just based on how poorly City were doing over like Christmas period, how they was conceding goals to like Leicester, so many goals, and then Ruben Diaz just steps up. Because when you're in those difficult periods, you need a player to step up, and he stepped up and commanded that team, that back line, and City ended up winning the league because of that. If you don't concede goals, you win. You win the league. Simple as that. Whereas Liverpool, they took long to get a player like that who stepped up. It took them time. And United, yes, Bruno has been stepping up, but at the same time, we're not. At times, he didn't create chances. At times, we didn't score the chances he made. So, yeah, he had an impact, but I think Ruben Diaz's impact is much greater because they obviously won the league. So that's my player of the season. How about you?
My player of the season has to be Harry Kane. He's had one of the most complete performances from any striker I've ever seen in the Premier League. Not just a striker anymore. He's a playmaker. He won the Playmaker Award and the Golden Boot, which I can't remember the last time that was done. I can't remember the last time that was done. Yeah. Or I don't. If it has been done recently, it's just left my mind. But I know Tottenham haven't had the best season, which is, a reason why you could maybe look at that and think, well, he doesn't deserve it. But as an individual award, he's had perhaps with one of the best seasons of his career. His link-up play with Son under Mourinho was, at the beginning of the season, it was scary. We're talking about people talking about him getting, he's going to get 30 goals and then 25 assists because their partnership was just lethal. Yeah, he slowed down a bit and had an injury. So to the fact that he's won both awards, I think makes it even better. So for that reason alone, I'm going to give my player of the season award to Harry Kane.
Yeah, and now on to manager of the season. Obviously, I'm looking at Aston Villa. He's their manager. What's his name? What's the Villa manager's name?
Oh my gosh.
Smith.
Dean Smith.
Yeah, Dean Smith. They've done a good job. And no, my manager of the season is David Moyes.
Yeah.
West Ham, unbelievable. So I think we can both agree with that.
I'm going to give it to David Moyes as well. And I'm going to
easily say Pep, but yeah,
I had 4 managers. I had David Moyes. Sorry, you're gonna kill me. I'm gonna get killed. I'm gonna get slaughtered for what I'm about to say.
No, I know you're gonna say it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Solskjaer is one of my. I had David Moyes. I had Pep Guardiola. I had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I had Marcelo Bielsa. I'm gonna defend myself for Solskjaer quick. One, we were unbeaten away for the entirety of the season, which has only ever been done 3 other times, twice by Arsenal, I think, and once by Preston. We finished second in the table. We're the second best team in England, and we've equaled a record. We're on the brink of breaking it, first away game of next season. And he was robbed of 2 Manager of the Month awards because of, one, it's a fan vote, and obviously, blah, funny troll, but he should have been the Manager of the Month twice for the March and I think February. That's why I think he should have and probably was in contention for a Manager of the Month award. But I will give it to David Moyes because West Ham have very, very, had a very, very good season. They've exceeded expectations.
Yeah, and then now team of the season, obviously the team of the season is City. But let's create a team of the season. Starting with goalkeeper. I'm going to say Martinez, Aston Villa.
You're going to go through all of yours first, and I'll give you mine.
Martinez, Aston Villa. Right back will be... Right back. I don't know. Right back. I'll go left back first, Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
2 centre backs, Ruben Diaz and what's his name? Why have I forgot all these players' names? Connor Cody. Yep.
Okay.
Yes, he's had a good season. I could easily just do 2 Man City centre backs. It'll be easy, but no. I'm trying to keep it fair, involve like all the good players from the season. Right back. I know the West Ham right backs had a good season. What's his name? Sufal. And Van Bissaka's had a decent. But I'll go the West Ham guy. And then go 4-3-3. I'll just do two CMs. We'll go De Bruyne, Bruno, and I don't know. Up front, obviously Harry Kane. Right wing Mahrez, left wing Foden, and then the last midfielder is I'm gonna go Tielemans. I don't know. I'm gonna go Tielemans from Leicester. It's a very varied team. It's just so random. I couldn't think, but go on.
We're gonna have to make a graphic for this and put it on the Instagram so people can see how silly that centre back pick was from you. But
no, they're gonna realize. Okay, go on.
So I'm gonna start by saying my formation is gonna be the same as It's gonna be a 4-3-3. By the way, guys, this team doesn't have to be a team that would, go into a game and play. It's just the players that have just been the best. So in goal, I'm going to leave that because I'm torn between a couple of goalkeepers. So I'm going to leave that to the end. Hopefully my mind would have been made up. But Luke Shaw at left back, Harry Maguire and Ruben Diaz as a centre-back partnership. I'm going to have Sufal at right back. I think he has the most assists as a right back this year in the West Ham side that have played very well. In the middle, I'm going to have Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, and De Bruyne's had a good season, yeah.
I have to change my thing to Mason Mount. I'm not getting Tielemans. No way.
I'm so torn on De Bruyne because he could have done so much better this year. I know City won the title, but he hasn't stood out. He really hasn't stood out for me. And I'm looking at players who have actually been in the limelight and been the best guys in their team, and I don't think De Bruyne has been there this season. So for that reason, I'm not going to put him in the team. I'm going to have to leave that spot vacant for now. But up front, obviously, Harry Kane. On the right, on the left, I'm going to have Son, and on the right, I'm going to have Salah. But there's other centre midfielder. Gosh, it's going to be the flattest of midfield threes. They're going to have to do everything. But I'm going to have Gundogan. I want to say Gundogan, yeah. But he just had a really good spell. He had a long purple patch. It wasn't the season. It was maybe a month and a half or 2 months, 2.5 months, I'd say, where he was just scoring loads of goals. So I'm going to have to put him in. And then in goal, I'm going to have Edison because he won the Golden Glove for 2 years, second season in a row.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, I think that rounds up the Premier League season. I thank you, everyone, for obviously tuning into our channel. Obviously, started it in January, so we didn't cover the full season, but next season, we don't miss an episode. We won't miss a game. And, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Euro 2020 coming up a few weeks' time. Also, I think we're going to plan to do an episode based on the Prem. Hopefully, we can get some guests on and discuss the Prem. Do more in depth of player of the season, team of the season. And thank you everyone for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe.
Before we go, just remember, guys, to keep an eye out for the ATF challenge, accuracy, touch, and finish. Hopefully, the trailer isn't all that Ibs did. Because at the moment he's the one. This channel is on his shoulders at the moment. I'm not in the video because I wasn't there, but next time I will be.
But
I'll be there to win it.
Yeah, make sure you watch that, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Thank you very much.